everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of Not Aspirational. I'm your host, Hannah Aaron Brown. Happy February. Happy Groundhog Day. I'm recording this on February 2nd. Looks like Punxsutawney Phil did, in fact, predict more winter. However, I Googled this today. He's only right 35% of the time. That is like a failing grade. That's what I got in math in junior high, high school, really my whole life. So, like, do not fret by this because of this news. Like, Punxsutawney Phil is wrong a lot of the time, and spring is on the way, babe. I'm in the stew today. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that. I hope my audio's okay. So last week we had an audio issue. I was up until like 1 a.m. editing. Then the audio like crapped out, and you were all very patient and kind, and you said, hey, your audio's like crapping out. And I was like, oh my God, shit. If there's one thing that's gonna make me crash out, it's a tech problem. It's honestly astonishing that I've been doing this since 2016, and I've built any sort of semblance of a platform doing this. A very small platform. Tell your friends about Not Aspirational with Hannah Brown. Tell your friends about this very show. But the fact that I've been doing it for this long with how much I hate technology is really the shock of my life. I'm also on my luteal phase. I'm in my luteal phase, I should say. So a tech crash out just like it will send me straight to the asylum. Okay, so I'm super excited about today's episode, but first, a couple life updates. I am in the swing at my new spot. I love my new neighborhood. We are finally vibing. Also, I just want to say, we are eating good in the neighborhood because, like I said, Wuthering Heights comes out on February 13th, and Margot Robbie's press tour looks for this entire press tour for Wuthering Heights have been nothing short of perfection, spectacular. And then I asked on Instagram, I said, who is her fucking stylist? And some of you got back to me and you told me that Margot Robbie's stylist is none other than Andrew Mukamal from, I hope I pronounced that right, I'm sorry, Andrew, from Hell on Earth. Hell on Earth, for those of you who don't know, is a one-season wonder of a Bravo show where Kelly Catrone filmed her employees at People's Revolution, and Andrew was my favorite one, and she very much like imprinted on Andrew early on and was like, oh my God, I love you, Andrew, you're amazing. And he knew who he was from a very early age. Like, he just had famous people energy and such an eye. Like, he was always one of my favorite characters on the show. So the fact that he's Margot Robbie's stylist and is crushing it the way he is, I mean, I could truly weep. Andrew, let's manifest together right here, right now, that someday I work with Andrew Mukamal, and that before that I learned how to pronounce his name properly. That's very, very important. But wow, if you haven't seen her press tour looks, she is killing it. And I said this on Instagram, but it bears repeating. I'm so happy she's out of Chanel jail, because with Love and Light, like Margot Robbie, she has an edginess to her. Like, she makes the coolest, edgiest choices as like an actor and as a producer, and I just think to be able to express herself through fashion and be a true fashion girly is a gift, like truly a sight to behold. And I think Andrew really understood the assignment of, like, this is an Emerald Fennell movie, this is Wuthering Heights, like putting her in the right color story, giving her that edge, that whimsy, that hot girl touch. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I'm going to SF this weekend for a very exciting work event that's Super Bowl related. I know, like shocking, because I'm not Sporty Spice per se, but I am so excited. So I will be sharing it on social media, and keep an eye out for that. Also, if you don't follow me already, follow me at Hannah Aaron Brown across platforms. That's HANNAHAARON, And if you love this podcast, leave it a rating and a review. Tell your friends, share it with someone. I really cannot express how much, as a small independent podcast host, like how much it means when y'all spread the word. Like, word of mouth is truly the best thing we can do to grow a show. And I'm not gonna lie to you all, I am so fucking over having a day job. Like, I am so over having a day job. I really can't do it anymore. And I know that, like, remember when Michaela Nogueira was like, try being an influencer for a day? I'm like, bitch, I would love to be an influencer for a day. I would love to make millions and millions of dollars making videos and talking into this microphone and not having to deal with any of the godforsaken tech issues. I would love to do that. But unfortunately, I didn't get on TikTok during the pandemic because I was mentally ill, and I haven't been on reality TV. So I'm kind of pushing a boulder uphill in the creator space. So all that to say, if you love... if you love the show, send it to a friend. Leave it a rating and a review. I just got back from Santa Barbara. And that's what today's episode is about, kind of. It's what inspired today's episode. Today we're going to talk about how to have a great girls' trip. And this is fully my opinion, fully what I think we all need to be doing to make sure that our girls' trips are worth our time and money and energy, because all those things, they're costly in all of those areas. And I think there are certain things that we can do as girls on a girls' trip to maximize the joy, the fun, the vibes on a girls' trip. And after this quick break, we are going to dive right in. And we're back. Can you believe how official I just sounded there? After this quick break, we're going to dive right in. Oh my God, who is she? She is someone who doesn't have a day job. I can tell you that right now. Anyways, here are my girls' trip essentials, how I think that we can have a great girls' trip. So, sorry, before we dive into that, I had the best weekend in Santa Barbara with a couple of my college girlfriends. And the whole time we kept being like, this is such a great trip. We're having so much fun. Like, I've never been on a girls' trip where it's so like low key and relaxing and stress free. And I was kind of like unpacking why I think that was. And this is what I came up with. So I want to say not all girls' trips are created equal. I think we've all been on a girls' trip where like it's kind of a horror show and you get back and you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired. The amount of time, money, and energy I spent on a trip just to be like miserable and frustrated with myself and or my friends is just like, it's truly the worst feeling in the world. And so I think going into it with a game plan, like going into a girls' trip with a game plan of how you're going to handle yourself can really help you have a good time, help you and your friends have a good time. So here's what I came up with. First of all, we're going to prep for girls' trips, okay? So this is just personal prep. You are going to do your maintenance the week prior so that you feel really confident on your trip. And some ideas for that is like doing your self-tanner, getting a mani-pedi, getting a facial. Also, if you want to feel hotter in a pinch, cut out dairy and alcohol the week leading up to the trip. You will lose so much inflammation so fast, and obviously drink a ton of water. You will feel so hot. I'm not kidding, within like 3 to 5 business days. So if you're like, I'm going to this trip and I'm nervous about feeling hot in pictures, I'm telling you, cut out booze, cut out dairy for like the week leading up, and you will feel amazing in fucking no time. Also do some lymphatic drainage massages on your face. You can find those on YouTube, but that will keep you feeling very, very snatched. We all know that I love a lymphatic drainage massage. And also, when you're chugging all your water throughout the week, add a little bit of apple cider vinegar, like just a splash, and some lemon, and you will de-bloat in no time. Okay, so make sure you're going into the trip feeling hot. And then we're going to talk about the planning phase with your friends. So I think one of the keys to having a really great girls' trip is to just be transparent, like to make a vow as a friend group to be transparent with each other going into the trip. And that starts during the planning process. So be open about like what type of trip you're looking for and state your needs. And obviously within reason, like don't be high maintenance and like ridiculous, but like within reason, be like, oh, I do best when I have my own bedroom, or I really want to flirt or make out with someone on this trip. Can y'all like wingman me or wingwoman me? I need to do a little bit of movement every day to feel really good. Early coffee walks are something that mean a lot to me. I really want to do that with you guys. It's a can't miss. Or I'm dying to go to this architecture tour or this restaurant. I would love to cook one night on the trip. Be honest. Whatever it is that like you're looking to do in this trip that feels like a non-negotiable, be honest so that no one is caught off guard during the trip and you can all plan accordingly. And I think when you're on the trip, everything can feel, and not even just a girls' trip, like any trip, everything can feel more high stakes because like I talked about with my London trip with Jake, you're like, oh my God, like I took all this time off work. I put all this time and money into feeling hot. I got on a plane. I drove 6 hours, whatever. And so during the trip, it can feel really high stress. And so I think having all those conversations in advance when you're not in that high stress state of like, we're already on the trip, I think doing it in the months leading up and being like, hey guys, I need this thing on the trip, allows your friends to really be there for you and be like, okay, great. And for all you know, they'll be like, oh my God, I was thinking it would be so fun to cook one night too. Or, oh my God, I would love to go on an early morning coffee walk with you. Like, I think just managing expectations in advance is key. Also, do some self-reflection before a girls' trip and figure out if you're type A or type B. And it can be really hard to travel with people who are not the same type as you. But recognizing this in advance will manage expectations for all of you and allow all of you to have more fun. So like an example could be like, hey, I love to sleep in. Can we not plan on early mornings? Or I love to sleep in. You guys are more than welcome to get up early and get a coffee. Can you just be mindful of like me sleeping late? Or I love to sleep in, so feel free to go on a coffee walk without me and I'll meet up with you guys at breakfast. And having that flexibility as a group to be like, oh, cool, you're type B, this is a thing you do. Or like knowing that your type B friend is going to forget a charger and like bringing an extra charger. Stuff like that can go a really, really long way. So just owning whether you're type A or type B and like being transparent about that from the jump. Also, in the same vein, give up control, okay? Like recognize that we are not all the same and all of our needs are going to be different, and hold space for those who have different vibes and needs than you, and try not to get mad at your friends for doing things in a different way than you or wanting to do different things sometimes. Like be open to everyone having a different vibe, and be open to sometimes on a girls' trip you are going to part ways for a little bit and come back together. I know sometimes I get really overstimulated and I usually hit a wall within about like 3 days of being social where I need to just go into my cocoon for like an hour, maybe two, and just be alone, fuck around on my phone, answer some emails, some texts, and then like take a nap and then emerge, my fun, outgoing self. But on this past trip to Santa Barbara, there was a day where like one of my friends wanted to go to the beach. Another one of my friends wanted to make dinner, so she had to go to the store. I wanted to take a nap, and we were all like, great. And then we just came back together and it was super fun and we all got what we wanted. And I think that openness of being like, it is not a personal slight to me if my friend wants to go to the beach or if I want to take a nap or if someone wants to do something else. I think that's all really, really important to avoiding any sort of tension. Lean into girlhood. This sounds so obvious, but like, we have to be grown-ups all the time. We have a lot of responsibilities at home. And so if like your friend wants to do like a TikTok together or a themed night or like learn a dance, just like lean into the silly goofiness of that and do not take yourself too fucking seriously. Like it is so unique and special to get to be with our girlfriends, like just girl time as adults when we're all like married and we have kids and we have jobs and we have things going on. That time is so precious. So just like, please, I beg of you, do not take yourself too seriously on a girls trip and just lean into girlhood and allow yourself to have fun and be an idiot. Okay, packing and wardrobe notes. So this is something that I think is really important. Do not comment on your friend's clothes unless it's a compliment. This is like very specific, but like I'm speaking from experience here. I really like to plan my outfits in advance and dress up on a trip, like any chance I get. And I remember one time I was on a girls trip and I got kind of dressed up for brunch and I had a friend be like, where are you going in that outfit? I was like, to brunch. And this person on this trip wasn't the kind of person who planned their outfits and didn't like the clothes they brought. And that was a moment where I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure this isn't about what it's about. But it made me feel like really self-conscious and shitty. So I think like let your friends dress the way they want to dress, which seems really obvious, but like give up control. It's not about you. And that said, take responsibility for your packing, okay? Now, of course, we all forget things sometimes. We all have an outfit in our head that we put on and it's not what we planned, and you ask your friend to borrow a top, and that falls under the leaning into girlhood category. We love that, okay? But like, I just think trying to be mindful in advance of your non-negotiables, like I need to make sure I have all my skincare products to feel really great, or I need to make sure I have like this makeup product to feel really confident, or I want to try on my outfits in advance and take pictures in my phone so that I know that my outfits are ones that I feel good in. I think taking responsibility for what we need to pack to feel good and double, triple checking that we have it, whether you're type A or type B, is really, really important. And again, like swapping skincare and clothes is really fun. That's leaning into girlhood. I'm talking about like being in a pissy mood because you didn't think to double check for this thing that you really wanted. Like, will fuck with the vibes of the trip. And I think we're all adults and we all need to take responsibility. Also, a tip is if you are someone who hates your clothes every time you're on a trip and you're like, why the fuck did I pack these shorts? What is this swimsuit? Why did I do this? Take a little bit of time. It can literally be an hour, and just lay outfits out. You don't even have to put them on because I hate trying clothes on, but put outfits out like on your bed and take pictures and make an album that's like Santa Barbara trip. And that way, when you're packing, you can do this like the month in advance, the week in advance, whatever. You will know that you took the time and energy to plan those outfits. And if you really want to go the extra mile, I do recommend trying them on, because something could be cute in your head and then you put it on and you're like, why don't I like this? Why are these proportions weird? Like that happens to me all the time. So if you really want to go the extra mile, try them on. And then you know on the trip that you're going to feel great. And also, when in doubt, bring a lot of basics. Bring like a bunch of tank tops, bunch of t-shirts, a couple different jackets, some jeans, and you'll feel like you have infinite clothes. And then just focus on the accessories and you'll feel amazing. Okay, activities. So this really depends on interests, but I recommend striking the balance between like chill, loosey-goosey time and then like structure. So I recommend like having dinner reservations or meals planned out. I think being in a group of hangry women where everyone is like too nice to make a decision and everyone's saying, well, we'll just figure it out, and no one like takes control and is like, this is what we're doing. As you all get more hangry, I think it truly is the recipe for like disaster and tension. So I think having a plan for meals is really good. And I think if you have a friend who like really likes taking control and being like if you have a foodie friend that's like, I found this place, let's go there, let them do that. Like seriously, like know your strengths as someone on a trip. I am not a good planner when it comes to like organized activities. I love food, so I will be the one to like make the reservation if no one else does. But like knowing your strengths is important. Maybe you're like horrible at admin and planning, but you love playing games and you'll be the one that remembers to like bring Cards Against Humanity on the trip. Like know your strengths and lean in and communicate those to everyone. Activity ideas though, shopping, a show, a movie, bowling, going for walks, grabbing a coffee, a game night, all those things are really fun. And I think it's also important to compromise and be like, okay, I don't love hiking, but my friend doesn't like bowling. And like just consciously being like, I'm going to do this because making this memory with my friend is going to be fun. And I do think it's a mindset. I think, like I said, when you are down to relinquish control, you set yourself up for having a lot more fun. And like, whether you're on a girls trip or not, there is a level of control that you do lose when you're on a trip. Like shit happens, like your table's not ready at the restaurant or your flight gets canceled, whatever. So I think going into it with an open mind and being like, I might do an activity that wouldn't be on my list, but I get to do that activity with my friends because we're all on this trip together. I think that mindset shift will go really, really far for keeping the vibes up on the trip. Also, similar vibe, don't complain. It is hard when a trip isn't going according to plan, but laughing is truly the best medicine. Like making fun of shit with your friends when things go wrong can be really, really funny, and it can end up being like a hilarious memory. So just fighting the urge to complain. And if you have to like text your husband or your mom or someone close in your life and be like, this thing's really annoying me, vent it out. That's fine. Take a nap. Again, take some space if you need. But do not complain and do not start that thing on a trip where you talk shit about friends with other friends. Like it is going to make the vibe so tense and so rancid, and none of you deserve it. And then my last tip is reserve judgment. Like, don't judge your friends on their clothes, on their drinking, their drug use. I mean, within reason, like as long as they're not hurting anyone or themselves. How late someone sleeps, if they like to exercise. Like, it is everyone's trip. And I think for a girls' trip to happen, so many things need to fall into place. Again, we all have a ton of responsibilities. So taking your judgment of how your friends want to live their lives and just like putting that aside and just letting yourself really embrace your friends for who they are and enjoying them is the only way to enjoy a girls' trip. And again, like you all worked so hard to make that trip happen. You owe it to yourselves to like not sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the fact that, you know, your friend like had one too many martinis. I'm speaking about myself last Wednesday at dinner. Like whatever, life is short. Just like giggle and laugh it off and don't take it too seriously. Oh, and the other thing, my last tip is do things on a girls trip that you could never do at home or around your significant others or around your kids. So some ideas for this are, this again falls under the lean into girlhood umbrella, but getting ready together, talking about tertiary people that you all know and being like, what is that person up to? What are they up to? Subcategory, stalk your exes on LinkedIn, see what they're doing. Just make sure you check your settings so that they can't see. Help each other with your self-tanner on your backs. Make sure that you all feel really hot. Binge watch old Real Housewives. And just remember, I'm just going to drive this point home one more time. Remember that this time is unique and special, and a lot has to happen for a girls' trip to exist. So don't put too much pressure on it, but don't take it for granted either. And those are my tips. I hope they're helpful. We're going to take one more quick break here, and then we're going to finish the episode with Grow Up. And we're back. Okay, so this is the second week in a row where we're doing self-submitted Grow Ups, and I'm super excited. Okay, the first one, this is a really good one. When people at work say, you look tired. Grow up, okay? There is no nice way to tell someone that they look tired. Like, truly fuck yourself. It is so, you look tired. Oh, thanks, I am. Like, why is that a productive thing to say? I think it's from the movie Stepmom, where Susan Sarandon says that's just a nice way of telling someone they look like shit. It's true. Oh, you look tired. Literally, don't tell me how I look at work at all, unless you're going to give me a compliment. And even then, HR would probably be like, no. But like, seriously, don't tell someone they look tired. It's fucking rude. Grow up. Okay, next grow up is when full-grown adults still rely on someone else to clean off their car after it snows. Grow up, okay? We are all adults here. You know what? That brings me back to girls' trips. Be self-sufficient. I've been on girls' trips where someone's been like, can I do laundry? And then they just blink like Fred Armisen in Broad City, and they're like, I don't know how to use it. Like, I'm a baby. I don't have any money. And it's like, we're all grown adults. We're all responsible for ourselves. I love doing favors for my friends within reasons, but this like Tom Schwartz, like learned helplessness, like, I don't know how to do it. We're not fucking doing that, okay? Grow up. You are an adult. Just attempt to figure it out, and I promise you will. You can shovel the fucking snow off your car. You can see where the snow is. I believe in you. You can do it. No one else is responsible for getting the snow off your car except for you, and that is a metaphor that we will be taking moving forward on this show. And the final grow up of this week is grow up. People who hate on small dogs and say things like, get a real dog. Seriously, grow the fuck up. I think it is truly freakish behavior to have a problem with with dogs, with like creatures of any kind. Like people who like violently hate cats and they're like, fuck cats. I'm like, how could you hate an innocent creature? And like a small dog is literally, they were just born that way. They were born that way, babies. So for you to like go around and be a dickhead about like, get a real dog, that's a small dog. Fuck off. That's like being a pick-me girl, but like in dog form. You know what I mean? It's like, don't assign character traits to dogs just because of what they look like. Are you fucking serious? Would you do that to a human being? And if you would, grow up. You need to examine that and unpack that because it's gross. It's gross to do it to people. It's gross to do it to dogs. Grow the fuck up. That felt nice, y'all. Short and sweet episode today, okay? And thank you all for bearing with me with that. But get excited because next week I have a really exciting collab episode happening that I really think will gag all of the millennial girlies who listen to this show. So stay tuned. Again, follow me on all platforms at Hannah Aaron Brown if you don't already. Also, again, if you love the podcast, leave it a rating and a review because it helps the show grow and because I don't want to have a day job anymore. Just kidding. Not really. Also, if you want to watch the podcast, there are full episodes available to watch on YouTube. And if you ever want to write into the show, do not hesitate to email me at notaspirationalpod@gmail.com. I love you all. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for all of your kind messages. They truly mean the world to me. I appreciate all of your support. You are literally the best. And I will see you soon. Okay, bye.